Welcome back. Today I want to show you in this video how to do batch rename in Adobe Bridge. But first I want to show you a preference that we need to maybe change in Adobe Bridge. I have it set up so that I have the file name and then I'm showing the file size, you'll see, and then the pixel dimensions and then the format. And we can set that however we want, and I'll show you here in a second. You can have any type of display that you want, not any type, but there are some choices that you have there of what's going to be displayed on each thumbnail. So we're going to go up to Adobe Bridge Preferences. You see the keyboard shortcut there is Command K. And you'll see all the possibilities that you have to interact with this preference. The one you want to be on is thumbnails, and you just click on each one. It'll change to a different window. And the part that we're talking about is right here. So I have the author checked if there's anything in there that has the author name in it, the size, the dimensions, and the document type. And we can change any of these. We have all kinds. We could say date created. So let's just say date created and see what happens. So now we see over here in my window, I have the file name, the date created, the size, 7 megabytes, the dimensions, and camera raw image. Document type. Yeah, I think that's good. Alright, so I'm going to say OK. You don't have to display these items. You can choose to display however you want to. I don't think we can turn those off here. Alright, so the gist of this tutorial is to show you how to batch rename. And you need to be naming these files just because we don't want CRW, CRW, CRW on any of these things or all of these images. For one thing, if you do any kind of searches, we want to have unique names on these files. So I'm just going to select this first row, and let's pretend that these are our uncomfortable images. Okay, so how do I batch rename? The way I like to do it is I like to right click, and then we'll just pull down on this contextual menu here and say batch rename. And we'll see here we have destination folders. Are we going to rename it in the same folder? Yes. We could choose to move it to another folder, or we could actually make a copy of this to a new folder, and then it's going to ask you to browse and find that folder. Okay. So there's all kinds of ways that we can name it. We can name it by the current file name. We can say text. So if you just want to create some new text, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. And then I will say, how about another text menu, and we'll say uncomfortable, and I'm going to put an underscore here. I like underscores to kind of separate. So we'll say uncomfortable, and then how about Viz 102 underscore, and then we're going to add a sequence number, and we've kind of run out of boxes here to type in, and that's no big deal. All we have to do is come over here and click on the little plus. It says add more text to the file name, so we'll say plus, and you'll see down here, here's the original, the current file name, and currently this is the name that it's going to be, or the way it's going to be renamed. We see the uncomfortable underscore and then the V102 underscore, and now we're going to say I don't want text on this, I want to have a sequence number, and we have sequence letter or sequence number, and we're going to start with 1, or we could start with 0, or we could start with any number, and then we have the options of carrying it out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digits. We only need say 2 digits for this one, and we'll see. It's going to be uncomfortable underscore V102 underscore 01.crw. and we're saving it right back into the same folder. And if we want to see what's going to happen, we can click this little preview button, and we'll see that CRW0940, which is this first one, is going to be renamed. Here it's going to be 0102 all the way down for all 10 images. We'll say OK, and we'll say rename. A few seconds later, we'll see our images right down here with the new name on them. And I can hover over this, and we'll see it says uncomfortable underscore V102 underscore 01. Okay, let's try that again just to make sure you understand. And remember, we can either command click, to select non-contiguous images, or we can just click on this first one and shift click the last one, and it will select everything in between. Now this time, rather than right clicking, I'm just kind of showing you both ways that we can get to it, I'm going to go up under Tools, and we'll see Batch Rename, and you see that the Shift Command R is the keyboard shortcut. So I'll click on that. Same window, it's coming right back to this, and I will we'll rename these. Call this Dated Portrait. Is that right? Dated Portrait. Once again, V102. We will start with 1 on this one, and once again we'll carry it out to 2 digits. And let me see what else we can add here. Sequence number, date and time. So if we add date and time, it's going to start dragging this line out, but we have date created, and then we can also choose how we want that date. Do we just want the year in 4 letters, or we could say day, month, and year. We'll just say day, month, and year. That's going to be too long. So if we want to get rid of one of these, it's obvious right here. We can either add them, right, and change them. And you'll see that our extension just gets longer and longer and longer. And if we get too far into it and we don't like it, we just click these little minus buttons, and it gets us back to just the 3 extensions on it. All right? Okay, I will say we're going to rename in the same folder, and I'll say rename. It takes a few minutes, and then right here we have Dated Portrait V102 underscore 01. Alright, and if we want to see these previews here, if these thumbnails are too small for you, we can always scale them up. Scale them down by just sliding this little slider. And I'm going to go back up under Preferences. And click on Thumbnail. I don't want that date on there. It's just, to me, it's too much information. And I'm going to go back to Author for that. Or I could uncheck it and just say nothing for there. Okay. I'll leave it checked, put our Author, just gives me a little space there. Aesthetically, it looks better. I'm all about aesthetics. Alright, so that's how you batch rename, and you need to be doing this on all of your files. You want unique names according to projects, and I have here, you should be working on this on folders and trying to keep things organized the best that you can. So you should have created a folder, maybe, called VisCom 102 2013. And inside that folder, you're going to have all your stuff for this class. And here I have this lesson, batch rename. So you need to be organized with your folders and your files. And we can kind of go back here. Exercises, your tool tests, your lessons, any PDFs that I present to you, you should be storing them here in a folder. And it doesn't have to be exactly like this, but it should be, you should be organizing and not having everything go to one single folder. All right? Alright, that's enough teaching for today. I will see you down the road in another video. Thanks for watching.